Every year, we deliver a major iOS update that brings awesome new features that will impact the world. To tell you all about what we have planned for this year, I'd like to introduce Craig Federighi. Craig.
Hey, good morning. All right. Well, our next big release of iOS is, you guessed it, iOS 12. Now, our customers, of course, are going to receive iOS 12 as a free software update. Now, it's easy to forget now, but iOS pioneered this approach of helping you get more out of the device you already own through free updates. And some of those updates have been really quite profound, like the App Store, giving us a whole new way to discover and download apps. It itself was delivered via software update, as were the folders we use to organize those apps. And can you imagine living without Find My iPhone, or iMessage with its end-to-end securely encrypted messaging, or the revolution in iPad productivity with slide over, split view, and drag and drop, or AR, changing the way we interact with the world around us, all delivered via software updates. And of course, we want to get these improvements to as many of our customers as possible. iOS 11 supports devices that were introduced as far back as 2013, like the iPhone 5S. And we just love the way customers race to update to our newest releases. In fact, half of our customers upgraded to iOS 11 in just 7 weeks. It's incredible. Now, as we stand here today, 81% of our over 1 billion active iOS devices are running our latest release. And now, when you look at the competition, well, it's hard to say they really have a software update model. So iOS has the fastest adoption of any operating system. But what's much more important to us is customer satisfaction. And we're thrilled to report that customer sat for iOS 11 is at 95%. Now, delivering all of these features across such a wide range of devices while maintaining high performance is a challenge we take really seriously. And so for iOS 12, we are doubling down on performance. We're working top to bottom, making improvements to make your device faster and more responsive. And because we want these changes to be available to the full range of our customers, iOS 12 will be available on all the same devices as iOS 11. This is the largest base ever supported by an Apple release. And we're focusing our efforts especially on the oldest devices. And while it's still early days, we're really pleased with some of the results we're seeing. And so I'd like to share some with you. And I'm going to use an example of a popular phone from a few years ago. This is the iPhone 6 Plus. Now, on that device, iOS 12 delivers a number of improvements across common operations. You'll see that apps launch up to 40% faster. The keyboard can come up to 50% faster, and you can slide to take a photo at up to 70% faster. Now, our deepest focus this year is optimizing the system when it's under load. And that's where you need performance the most and where iOS 12 really shines. Now, we've put iOS 12 through our stress test, and we saw in those conditions share sheet coming up twice as fast and apps launching twice as fast. These are big, big improvements. Now, this took changes, thank you very much. This took improvements in many, many places in the system. And I want to highlight just one, and it starts with the silicon. You know, our tight collaboration with our chip team has enabled us to optimize iOS across the full range of our A-series silicon. Now, CPUs traditionally respond to increased demand for performance by slowly ramping up their clock speed. Well, now in iOS 12, we're much smarter. When we detect that you need a burst of performance, like when you begin scrolling or launching an app, we ramp up processor performance instantly to its highest states, delivering high performance, and then ramp it down just as fast to preserve battery life. Now, these are just some of the improvements that are coming to not just our older devices, but the full range of devices. And that's a quick update on performance. Now, if this is all we've done in iOS 12, I think it would be a great release. But we've done more, much more. And we have a lot to cover today. And it starts with augmented reality. You know, yeah. Now, AR is transformational technology. By bringing experiences into the real world, it enables all kinds of new experiences, changing the way we have fun and the way we work. And in iOS 12, we've wanted to make an easy way to experience AR across the system. And to do that, we got together with some of the greatest minds in 3D at Pixar. And together, we created a new file format for AR. It's called USDZ. And it's a compact single file format that's optimized for sharing while retaining great 3D graphics and even animations. Now, you can use USDZ across the system, from the Files app to Safari, to even sharing them over messages and mail. And what's great is you can place these 3D objects into the real world. It's something that's like AR Quick Look. It's really awesome. Now, we want all kinds of creatives to be able to create content for AR. And so we're working with the leading companies for 3D tools and 3D libraries to bring their support for USDZ. Now, one company that's been all in on USDZ and ARKit is Adobe. And to tell you about what they're up to, I'd like to invite Abe Parasnis, their CTO, to the stage. Abe.
Thank you. Thanks, Craig. It's great to be here this morning. So at Adobe, we believe augmented reality is an incredibly important technology. And with ARKit, Apple is by far the most powerful platform for AR. So earlier, Craig talked about USDZ format. It's actually a pretty big deal. There is now a way to deliver AR experiences across the entire iOS experience. And so today, we are actually announcing that we are going to bring native USDZ support to Adobe's Creative Cloud. With Creative Cloud, designers and developers will now be able to use familiar apps that they know and love, like Photoshop or Dimension, to create amazing AR content and bring it easily via USDZ. And of course, we're not going to stop there. We are going to bring the power of immersive design to Creative Cloud with a new set of services and applications, including a brand new iOS application that's going to let all of you design amazing AR experiences quickly. So you will be able to bring in images, videos, text, any object from Creative Cloud directly into a native AR environment. In fact, for the first time, with Creative Cloud and iOS, you will have a what you see is what you get editing in AR. It's pretty cool. So come join us this afternoon, State of the Union, where we're going to give you a sneak peek of some of these new immersive design tools for the first time. Thanks. Back to you, Craig.
Thank you, Abe. Now, a critical part of enabling AR is accurate measurement. And fortunately, the precise calibration of sensors in iOS devices and our tight hardware-software integration mean that we do this really well. And we wanted to enable everyone to take advantage of this capability. So we're introducing a new app, and it's called Measure. It makes it really easy to measure objects, detect rectangles and get their dimensions, and measure lines along surfaces. And I'd like to show it to you now. Now, in looking for something to measure, I ended up digging through the attic and came upon my old suitcase from my traveling days in college. A lot of memories in here. Now, I'm actually in the Measure app. And you see, I can easily measure along this suitcase by just tapping and dragging out a line like that. And check that out. It's a measurement. Now, what's really cool is I can extend these measurements. So I can just tap, drag along another edge just like that, and even take it into full 3D by dragging down to the bottom like that. Isn't that cool? Now, I mentioned that we could automatically detect rectangles and show you dimensions of objects. So I have a photo here, actually. It's one my mom always wanted me to travel with of me as a baby. And so, you see, what I can do with Measure is it automatically detects the dimensions of that photo. I can just tap and get, oh yeah, cute little baby, wasn't I? And you can get measurements just like that. It's really fantastic. Now, I'd like to turn now to WWDC and its support throughout the system. You know, you can experience WWDC in so many places, and one of those places is news. Now, here's an article, and we're all accustomed to seeing images in news articles, but check this out. Here you see a WWDC asset, and I can just tap on this little 3D control and jump right in and experience it. You can see the amazing animations that are possible, and of course, it's fully interactive. So I can zoom in and pan. Isn't that amazing? Now, WWDC is also great in the web. So here I am at the Fender website, and they actually let you configure your guitar with the kind of finish and pickguard that you want. So I can select a configuration option here, and then I can see the guitar I've configured. So I'm just gonna tap in. Of course, I can see the guitar here, but wouldn't it be cool if I could see it in the real world, in its real size? Well, there it is. Check that out. I think I'm going to capture that for posterity. And that's a quick look at WWDC and Measure in iOS 12. Next, thank you. Next, I'd like to talk about the key technology behind these augmented reality experiences, and that's ARKit. ARKit opens up the world of AR to hundreds of millions of users, making it the world's largest AR platform by far. And we're on a relentless pace of advancement with AR, and that continues today with ARKit 2. Yes. ARKit 2 delivers advances with improved face tracking, more realistic rendering, and support for 3D object detection and persistence, which enables launching into AR experiences associated with a particular object or physical space, like starting a game built around a physical toy, or having a physical classroom serve as the foundation for a lesson that was authored in AR. But probably best is the support for shared experiences. Now, this delivers true multi-user augmented reality. You and the people around you will be able to see your own perspective on a common virtual environment. And to help all you developers get started, we created this sample app written in Swift that you'll all be getting today. Now, check out how both players and even a third observer can all experience the same environment in real time. It's really fun. Now, we've also brought in a select few developers into our labs over the last couple weeks to work with ARKit, and they love it. Now, one of them is Lego, and what they've done is so fun, you just need to see it. So I'm pleased to invite Martin Sanders, Director of Innovation of Lego, to the stage to give you a live demonstration. Martin.
That's great, thank you very much.
Creating and playing with physical Lego sets brings great joy to millions of children and Lego fans all over the world. And now, with ARKit 2, we get to expand those creative possibilities like never before and take things beyond the physical. What we try to do is combine physical and digital together to really open up those creative play possibilities. Because our Lego sets are really the start point for all of those children's imaginations. And when we get a chance to really embed ARKit 2, it takes it to the next level. Let me show you what I mean. Here we have Assembly Square. It's one of our LEGO creator sets. And already it has so many great details, it's awesome to play with. But wouldn't it be great if we could take things even further? Well now, with 3D object detection, we get to recognize our models and bring them to life. And just look at all of those rich details we can now bring into our sets. Because when we combine physical and digital together like this, it really opens up those creative play possibilities. And there's so much to do here. If you see these icons above people and objects, well, they represent missions and stories that we can explore. And with a world as rich and as immersive as this, who wouldn't want to play? So let's add a character. How about this little guy here?
Welcome back. Let's go on an adventure.
Awesome, let's go on an adventure. But going on an adventure with friends is often way more fun. So Anders, why don't you jump on in here?
I'm always up for an adventure.
Perfect. Because now, with ARKit 2's multi-user support, we get to play with up to 4 friends in the same space. Let's go ahead and add a few things from our collection, Anders.
Okay, I will add a bank over here.
Very nice, I like it. How about taking this for a spin?
Ah, that's cool.
Because just look at all those rich details you can see on the outside of the building and even on the inside. Yeah, I think I'm going to add this guy. He's definitely going to keep the bank safe. Oh look, my character's hungry. Let's take him over to the bakery. Well, let's see what they have. Because now with ARKit 2, we get to see inside our physical creations and check out all the details that were hidden before. Got a ballerina, little music session going on, and looks like a bathroom or something. Oops, sorry. Moving on. Oh, another play trigger in the bakery. Let's see what happens when I click on this. Oh, that doesn't look too good. Anders, got a situation. I'm going to need your help over here.
Okay. I've got a fire truck.
Perfect. You put out those flames while... Oh dear. Somebody's got themselves trapped on the roof. So I'm going to use this helicopter to go and pick up these clowns. How you getting on down there, Anders?
I'm almost done.
Great, those guys are safe. And the flames look like they're almost out. Perfect, we did it. Yeah, and what? Good job, Anders. And we even unlocked a new item for our collection. But the fun doesn't need to end there, because with ARKit 2, we get to save our entire world back into our physical set and pick up where we left off. Right, that's awesome. So much fun. But what makes this truly amazing is that with just a single LEGO creation and ARKit 2, it really opens up those creative play possibilities. So look out for more LEGO AR experiences in the App Store later this year. Thank you very much, everybody.
Isn't that great? So that's our update on AR in iOS 12. Next, I'd like to turn to photos. You know, over 1 trillion photos are captured on iPhone each year. And photos is the best way to relive and share those moments. This year, we're making photos even better, and it starts with search. Search has powerful object and scene recognition. It lets you search for photos based on things like searching for cars, or dogs, or flowers, and it's a great way to explore your library. But in iOS 12, search now starts working for you even before you start typing with search suggestions. It'll highlight things for you like key moments and people that are important to you, places where you've taken some great photos, and even categories of photos like hiking and water sports. And search is much more powerful than ever. You can search for places by business name. So you could search for SF MoMA or even a broad category like museum. And Photos indexes over 4 million events by time and place, things like sporting events and concerts. And so you can search for them and find photos you took at those events. And search is super powerful. You can now search for multiple search terms, like surfing and vacation, and even get suggestions for additional search terms to help you find exactly what you're looking for. And now in iOS 12, we have an all-new tab. It's called For You. And with For You, you have all of your memories, those great memory movies, but more, like featured photos, highlighting a photo that you took on this day in past years. And effect suggestions, for instance, suggesting looping a live photo or applying a new portrait effect to one of your portrait photos. And we even highlight your shared album activity. Now, when it comes to sharing, there are many ways you can share photos, but our focus is on sharing great photos with the people you care about most. And that's why this year in For You, we've added sharing suggestions. So imagine you've gone out for a great dinner with some friends and you took some photos. Well, afterwards in For You, you'll see a suggestion like this to share those photos. If you tap in, you'll see that Photos is even recommending a set of photos from that set that you might want to share, and suggests who you might want to share them with, based in part by the people that appeared in the photos. When you share them, they're shared at full resolution out of your iCloud photo library, and when your friend receives them, something really magical happens. Their phone searches their libraries for other photos they took at that event and suggests that they share them back to you, so you both can end up with the full set. Now, this is built around iMessage, so of course it's private, using end-to-end encryption, and all of those smarts are done with on-device machine learning. So that's your quick update on Photos in iOS 12. And next, let's turn to Siri. Now, Siri is by far the world's most used digital assistant, with over 10 billion requests processed per month. And because Siri works across all your devices, it's always there to help you through your day getting things done. Now, we all know that Siri works with many third-party apps for things like messaging, ride-sharing, and payments. But we wanted to make Siri able to do much more for you. And we're doing that by taking advantage of the power of apps with a new feature we call shortcuts. Now, with shortcuts, any app can expose quick actions to Siri. Let's look at some examples. Now, say you have the Tile app because you're always losing your keys. Well, the Tile app can expose the option to add a shortcut to Siri. You can assign your own phrase, such as, "I lost my keys," would be a good choice. And when you then say it, Siri will automatically activate Tile and show you right in the Siri UI, start ringing your Tile just like that. It's really great. Of course, there's so many uses for this kind of thing. You could say game time to get your team's schedule from TeamSnap, or help me relax to kick off a meditation, or order my groceries to order your usual. You know, with millions of apps, Shortcut enables incredible possibilities for how you use Siri. Now, as you know, Siri is more than just a voice. Siri is working all the time in the background to make proactive suggestions for you, even before you ask. And now, with shortcuts, Siri can do so much more. So for instance, let's say you order a coffee every morning at Phil's before you go to work. Well, now Siri can suggest right on your lock screen that you do that. You tap on it, and you can place the order right from there. Or if when you get to the gym, you use Aptiv to track workouts, well, that suggestion will appear right on your lock screen. And this even works when you pull down into search. You'll get great suggestions, like say you're running late for a meeting, well, Siri will suggest you text the meeting organizer. Or when you go to the movie, suggest that you turn on Do Not Disturb. That's just being considerate. And remind you to call Grandma on her birthday. Just tap, and it'll dial the call for you. Now, we think we're all going to really enjoy using shortcuts. And so we went a step further. We wanted to let you create your own shortcuts as users of multiple steps across multiple applications. And we're doing it with a new Shortcuts app. So with the Shortcuts app, you could do something like create a shortcut for surf time. And it could go get you the surf report, look up the current weather, get you the ETA to the beach, and even create a reminder for you to put on sunscreen when you get there. Now, it's all done with simple drag and drop steps in the Shortcuts editor right here. It's really easy. Now, to show you how Shortcuts can streamline your day, I'd like to invite one of our leaders from Siri Shortcuts project, Kim Beverett, to the stage to give you a live demo. Kim.
I am so stoked to show you Siri Shortcuts. To do that, I'm going to walk you through my day. So imagine it's the morning, I'm headed to work, and I pick up my phone, and I see this suggestion from Phil's Coffee. Siri has learned that I do this most mornings, so now I can just tap on the suggestion, and I see all the details I need to confirm my perfect mint mojito right here on the lock screen without even going into the app. So let's get caffeinated, and I'm done. Fast forward a little bit, and I'm sitting at my desk at my office, and I need to know when my next meeting is. I'll go to the Up Next widget, and it looks like I'm running a little late for a rather important meeting, so I should probably let someone know. And it looks like Shortcuts is a few steps ahead of me. I could call into the meeting, or I could let the organizer know that I'm running late. I should probably tell Ari what's up. That looks like just what I want to say. Sorry, Ari. Let's send it. Perfect. I also want to show you how you can add a shortcut to Siri. So let's take a look at Kayak. I keep all of my travel details in Kayak. Most important is my post-WWDC relaxation trip to Los Angeles. You can see I've got my flight, my hotel, all the details, everything I need. But what I really want is to be able to use this and get to this information with my voice while I'm on the go. So let's head back. And I can just tap Add to Siri, record my custom phrase, travel plans. And I'm done. So now, when I land at the airport and I'm about to get in the cab and I could really use that hotel address, I can just say, travel plans.
Kayak says, your hotel is at 929 South Broadway. You can check in after 3 p.m.
Isn't that cool? It's pretty cool. So I would love to be on that vacation, but I should, I don't know, probably finish this demo. So let's head back to work, and I can show you how the Shortcuts app can help me with my commute home. We start in the gallery, where there's hundreds of pre-made shortcuts that you can download, or we can hop over to the library, and I've got a bunch of shortcuts here, but I want to show you my heading home shortcut. You can see that it's just really a series of steps. It grabs my location and my travel time, and it sends my ETA to my roommate. It sets my HomeKit thermostat to 70 degrees, and it turns on my fan. And last, it gets directions home with Apple Maps with the best route to avoid traffic. Now, this is already pretty cool, but I happen to be an NPR News junkie, so I should probably just add that to my shortcut to save me some trouble on the ride home. Let's tap Search, and there's a bunch I can add here, but I can just tap Siri Suggestions, and there it is, Play KQED Radio. We'll drag this in, drop it, and we're set. I've already added this shortcut to Siri with the custom phrase heading home, so now, whenever I leave work, I can just say, heading home.
You will get there in 1 hour. I sent a message to Cheryl. Your thermostat is set to 70 degrees, and I turned on the fan, playing KQED radio.
Right? That's Siri Shortcuts in iOS 12. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim. And that's Siri Shortcuts. It works on iPhone and iPad, and of course, you can run your shortcuts from your HomePod and your Apple Watch. That's your quick update on Siri. Next, let's talk about apps. And to tell you about the latest, I'm going to hand it off to Susan. Susan.
so great to be here. I'm excited to tell you about some great updates in some of our most popular apps, starting with one of my favorites, News. So News is a personalized feed where you can see all the stories you want to read pulled together from trusted sources. And our top stories are handpicked by the Apple News editorial team to make a great collection of curated content. With our new Browse tab, you can discover new channels and topics, and we've made it even easier to jump to your favorites, because that's why they're your favorites, right? News shines on the iPad. We've added a new sidebar, and it's a great way to navigate. It makes it easy, and I think fun, to dig into the areas you're most interested in. So that's News. Now, we've completely rebuilt the Stocks app, and it's got a beautiful new design. Of course, you can still see the stock prices and the changes at a glance, but we've added spark lines, those little charts, that show the stock performance throughout the day. And that's cool, but are you ready? We are so excited to announce we're bringing Apple News to Stocks. I'm really excited about that. And the top stories in Stocks features business news, right? Curated by the Apple News editors. It's pretty terrific. You can tap on any stock to get a more detailed view, so you can see an interactive chart that now includes after-hours pricing. And you see relevant headlines from Apple News curated by our Apple News editors. So it looks great. And if you tap on one of those headlines, you'll see the full article without leaving the app. And of course, it's formatted to look gorgeous on the iPhone. Now, with iOS 12, we're bringing Stocks to iPad. It's pretty great, and we take advantage of the larger display so you can keep your eye on your stocks on the left while you browse through your financial news. It's a pretty great experience. Next up, voice memos. We've also completely rebuilt voice memos to make it even easier to use. And we're bringing voice memos to the iPad for the first time. Importantly, we've also added iCloud support, so your recordings stay in sync across all your devices. We think iPad users are just gonna love this. And we think that iBooks is the best way to discover and experience ebooks, as well as audiobooks. And with iOS 12, we're introducing an all-new design. And we think the update is so great, we're calling it Apple Books, a new name. Very dramatic. We dropped the I. Apple Books has some great new features. For example, Reading Now, with a preview that makes it really easy for you to pick up reading right where you left off. And there's so much more, including a stunning new store that makes browsing through your ebooks and audiobooks better than ever. We love these updates, and we think you will too. But we also have a smart and safe way to use your apps in the car. I think you know I'm talking about CarPlay. CarPlay already supports third-party audio and voice messaging, voice calling and messaging apps. You probably know that. But what you might not know is with iOS 12, CarPlay will also support third-party navigation apps. So now you have even more choices when you use CarPlay. That is a really quick look at some of our app dates. And Craig, back to you.
Thank you, Susan. Well, now I'd like to take a moment to talk about something that's on a lot of people's minds lately. You know, iPhone and iPad are some of the most powerful tools ever created for learning, exploring, and keeping in touch. But some apps demand more of our attention than we might even realize. They beg us to use our phone when we really should be occupying ourselves with something else. They send us flurries of notifications, trying to draw us in for fear of missing out. And some of us, it's become such a habit that, we might not even recognize just how distracted we become. Well, we've thought deeply about this. And today, we're announcing a comprehensive set of built-in features to help you limit distraction, focus, and understand how you're spending your time, and balance the many things that are important to you. Now, it starts with Do Not Disturb. There are times of the day, or times when you just don't want to be disturbed, and one of those, of course, is at night. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night, and you look at your phone, maybe just to check the time, and you're confronted with something like this. Barrage of notifications that spin you up and keep you from falling back asleep. And so we're introducing Do Not Disturb during bedtime, where all you'll see is this, nothing to get you spun up. And in the morning, in the morning when you wake up, you're gently eased into your day. You can tap when you want to start confronting those notifications. Now, we've all found ourselves in situations like this. Now, rest assured, he stuck the landing on this one. But now, Do Not Disturb can help. And we made it easier than ever to use Do Not Disturb, because now we have a great new mode where when you press into Do Not Disturb in Control Center, you can set an ending time for Do Not Disturb, for when you leave a particular location or when an event ends on your calendar. So I think we're all going to be using Do Not Disturb a bunch more. Now, next I want to talk about notifications. Now, notifications help keep us informed and connected to important things that happen throughout the day. And we'd like to give you more control over how many notifications you receive. And so we're enabling what we call instant tuning for notifications right from the lock screen. You can press in to a notification, and from there you can decide to send future notifications from that app directly to Notification Center, bypassing your lock screen, or turn them off altogether. And Siri will even help by suggesting that you turn off notifications for apps that you're no longer using. Now, we also wanted to give you help managing large numbers of notifications. So I'm thrilled to announce that we're bringing to iOS support for grouped notifications. Notifications are grouped not just by app, but also by topic and thread. It gives you a great overview of the notifications you've received. You can tap in and look at a particular group, but of course, just as important, with a single swipe, you can triage a whole group of notifications away. So that's notifications. Now, in addition to these great features for helping you limit distractions, we wanted to go further. And it's with a feature we call Screen Time. Screen Time empowers you with both insight and control over how you spend your time. And it starts with reports. Every week, you get a weekly activity summary that details how you used your iPhone or iPad. You tap in, and you get to view your full activity report. It's really detailed. You get deep insight on how much time you're spending, where you're spending it, and even how your use breaks down during the day or the night. You get a summary of the time you're spending in apps, how much time you're spending, how often per hour you're picking up your phone and what's drawing you in, and what apps are sending you the most notifications. Now, equipped with this insight, you can make decisions about how much time you want to spend with your device each day. But we know there are people who would like a little extra help in managing their use of apps. And for them, we've created app limits. So if in your activity report, you see an app where you might want to be spending a little bit less time, well, you can set your own limit. And then during the day, when you're using the app, you'll receive a helpful notification letting you know time is almost up. And once you've reached your limit, instead of the app, you'll see this. It's time to move on. Now, we'll let you grant yourself an extension if you want, but we'll give you a reminder later to move along. Now, this is also in sync across your iPhone and iPad, so your limits apply to your total usage. And we think this is going to be helpful for many people, but especially for some kids. And we know this is something that can help families achieve the right balance for them. And of course, it starts with providing your kids with great information so they get an activity report of their own. But as a parent, you get one as well on your device. And based on what you see, you have the option of creating allowances. And now, you have many options. One of them is downtime, time when you want your kids to unplug altogether, for instance, at bedtime. And you can also limit your kids' time in apps by category or by individual app. Now, there's some apps you may want to always allow them to use. For instance, you may want them to be able to get at the phone at all times so they can contact you. Or you may want to give them access to educational apps. And you can also limit access to only movies, apps, and websites that you deem age appropriate. Now, this works, of course, across their iPhone and iPad, and it uses family sharing, so it's super easy to set up. And you can manage it all remotely from your parental device. And so that are some great screen time and some great features to help you better manage your time. Now, next, I'd like to talk about one of the most important uses of our devices, and that's communication. And we'll start with messages. Messages has given us fun ways to express ourselves with emoji and now Animoji. And one of the things that make Animoji so fun is how expressive they are. You know, from smiles to frowns to nods of the head and blinking of the eye. Animoji do such an amazing job tracking our expressions. And this year, we're taking Animoji to a whole new level, the breakthrough new technology we call tongue detection. That's right. Now, you can make your favorite Animoji do this. We're all going to be sticking out our tongues to our phones in the near future. Now, we're also introducing some great new Animoji that I think you're all going to love, like ghost, koala, tiger, and T-Rex. But we wanted to take Animoji even further by making them even more personal. So I'm thrilled today to announce the arrival of the era of Memoji. That's right. With Memoji, you can create your very own personalized Animoji. Now, these Animoji can look like you or the real you. And we've worked hard to build a deep set of customization options to let our customers create an incredibly diverse set of Memoji. It's really incredible what you can create. And we've designed a beautiful new experience to create these Memoji that makes the process fun and easy. Now, to tell you more about it, I'd like to invite one of the managers of our messages and Animoji features, Kelsey Peterson, to give you a live demo. Kelsey.
Good morning. I cannot wait to tell you what's new with messages. Let's get started with Animoji. First, you need to meet the newest members of the team. We've got a new cat in town, our tiger. She's so cute. And now, my personal favorite, the koala. Oops. Just getting excited, scrolling through here. They can't all be cute and cuddly, though, so here's our T-Rex. And we have our very own friendly little ghost. So much fun. And if I swipe right, here's where I can create my very own Memoji. Let me show you just how easy it is. I recently chopped my hair, so I want one that matches the new me. So I've selected a skin color, and now I'm trying to figure out just the right amount of freckles. It's a real Goldilocks scenario. Yeah, these are just right. Okay, on to the main event. There are so many hairstyles to choose from. First, I'm gonna grab my color, and then like I said, I need to go a little bit shorter. All right. Nope, this is the one. Now that I'm all set, I can of course select my eye color. And what's really amazing is as I'm making changes, the character up above is coming to life. There are tons of options for me to customize. I could add earrings, but what I really want is a great pair of sunnies. So I'm gonna come over to eyewear and pick out some frames. Maybe not for today. I think I need 2 lenses. These are the ones. Now that I have frames, I'm gonna tint my lenses to make a great pair of Perfect. Okay, I think I'm all set. I'll tap done, which saves my brandly created Memoji right here into the drawer alongside the rest of my team. And that's how simple it is to create your very own Memoji. Now I have a brand new feature to introduce you to. This wasn't even in Craig's slides. We are bringing fun effects into the messages camera. Let's take a look. I have a message here from my partner. It looks like he's informing me that he's bought our dog, Ferdinand, yet another tiny dog hat. This isn't even the first. I think this is the perfect opportunity for a response with this new, fun camera. So I'll tap to pull up the camera, and then I can see this little star over here on the left. Tapping on that gives me a strip with all sorts of new effects. So I could add things like shapes or text, but let's check out these filters. Ooh. So this is comic book. It's really fun, but for a response about a tiny dog hat, I think I'm gonna go in a different artistic direction. So what I really need to do is add a sticker from one of my favorite sticker packs. Ferdy looked really excited about that new dog hat, so I'm gonna put him right here. And now we have an all-new way for you to use Animoji. I can apply my favorite Animoji right here, live. Here's the Memoji I just created, but I actually have just the one. It's of me in a very similar red hat, which is kind of perfect for twinning with my pup. So I'm gonna set up my shot, snap, and send. And that's a demo of the fun new effects and messages. Back to you, Craig.
So that's Memoji and some fun new effects in the camera and messages. Next, let's talk about FaceTime. Yeah. FaceTime is the way that so many of us connect with the people in our lives and share some of our most important moments. And it's helped us deepen our connection with people important to us wherever they are. And of course, it's a fun place just to hang out. Now, this year, FaceTime is going to take a big leap forward because today we're introducing Group FaceTime. Now, you'll be able to FaceTime with 2 people, 3 people, actually up to 32 simultaneous participants. Now, setting up a group call couldn't be easier. Just instead of typing one person's name, you can do many. You can ring them by tapping audio or video. But we also introduced a great new way because FaceTime is now integrated into messages. So you can quickly go from a group chat you have going directly in to a group FaceTime. And members of the group can join in and drop out at any time. It's really great. Would you like to see it? Well, let's do a demo. Well, I think for our first live demo, of group FaceTime, I'm going to contact the folks back in Cupertino. Now, I can just dive into this conversation I have going with the members of the FaceTime team. And it looks like actually they're already on a group FaceTime call, so I'm just going to join right in. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Craig.
Now check it out. So it's this beautiful FaceTime UI. We have these big, gorgeous tiles right up front where you see some of the leaders of the FaceTime team. And down at the bottom, there's an area we call the roster that contains everybody else. And of course, I'm right there in the lower right-hand corner.
Hey, Craig. Wait, am I on a big screen?
Yes, Lauren, this is not a test. You're in front of 6,000 of your biggest new fans. Shout out to Lauren. Now, what you probably noticed is when Lauren spoke, her tile automatically got larger to reflect her prominence in the conversation. This is totally automatic. Hey, Roberto, how's it going back there in Cupertino?
I'd say it's going pretty well. And Lauren, sorry for stealing your spotlight.
So this works, of course, for people in the roster as well. When they speak, they come forward. Hey, Christopher, you ready to make your big entrance?
Finally, my moment has come. Hello, world.
Now, well done. Now, you can control this too. So if I want to bring Woody front and center, I just double tap. There he is. Now, Woody, your baby is performing admirably here.
Thanks, Craig. It's exciting to finally be able to share group FaceTime with everyone.
It sure is. Now, we have not only all of this, but we've also brought the fun effects to the FaceTime camera. I can just tap in and I have access to Animoji, filters, and all of my sticker packs. And everyone else on the call can apply them too. Wow, now this is the future.
Hey, Craig, check this out. I'm a comic book koala, something I've always wanted to be.
I'm glad you've finally been able to express that side of yourself, Roberto. Hey, Tim, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. I signed up to help test FaceTime.
All right. Well, thank you, Tim. Every little bit counts.
Happy to help, and thanks to everyone on the FaceTime team for making it a reality. I can't wait to start using it every Sunday night to call the leadership team.
Looking forward to that, Tim. Of course, what I'm really looking forward to is getting group FaceTime to everyone on iOS 12. Thanks, guys, for a fantastic call. We'll see you back in Cupertino.
Bye, Greg.
So that's group FaceTime. It works on iPhone, iPad, and Mac, and you can even answer in audio on your wrist on your Apple Watch. So that's FaceTime and messages, and this is iOS 12. Improved performance, new AR experiences, Siri suggestions, screen time, Memoji and fun effects on the messages camera, and group FaceTime. I hope you like it. I'm going to hand it back to Tim. Thank you.